Welcome to Falls Count Anywhere, where the wrestling ring meets the heart. Hosted by the gentleman Jody Powell, join us as we dive into the latest pro wrestling news and rumors, from the electrifying world of WWE to the inspiring stories of wrestling for Christ. This is your all-access pass to the action, the faith, and the hope. This is Falls Count Anywhere.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Falls Count Anywhere. I'm your host, the gentleman Jody Powell. With me, as always, deep in the Buchanan Laboratory, the mad scientist Mike Buchanan. Mike, what's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot, gentlemen. Not a whole lot down here or out here, however you want to look at it.
I wish I was out there. What is it, like a nice balmy 75 degrees? We had ice and snow, man!
Better you than me, especially on that ice part, although I hope everybody's driving safely.
Well, we'll I wouldn't know. Yeah, everybody thinks that just because the gentleman drives the four-wheel drive Jeep that I can get out on the ice. Let me tell you something. Four wheels on ice moving in the same direction still slides. Snow's one thing, but ice, no thank you. Not fooling with it. Be that as it may, tell me you have like some ice melt or some heated, some kind of something that keeps me warm and tropical during these cold months cooking up in the lab. What's going on in the lab, buddy?
Well, maybe I should have done that. But as far as dangerous drivers, maybe this will help.
Okay.
I'm working on an add-on to your basic GPS. Right? Nobody knows how to use the turn signals anymore. You're always wondering what the bozo in front of you is going to do. He's going to go straight, turn left in the middle of the traffic, or what he's going to do. So my thought is we're going to build a GPS that has an attached automatic turn signal indicator on it. So based on the map you choose to get from point A to point B, every time you're supposed to turn somewhere, your turn signal will automatically turn itself on, and then once you've completed the turn, will turn itself off.
I think that's a fabulous idea, but I think there's one thing that you have sorely overlooked. You have yet to use the proper terminology for what is an indicator? It's a blinker, man!
Oh.
Come on!
Remember to have your blinker fluid checked before snowstorms.
Exactly. If you run out of blinker fluid, I've got some I'll sell you. Yes, it does look like water. It's clear as water. Sometimes it's got ice in it. Oh, yes. Automatic blinker for your GPS. I like it. Except a lot of times I disagree with my GPS and I go a different direction.
All the time. Yeah.
It never works out for me. I'll tell you.
Working out. WWE's Raw did not work out worth a flip, in my humble opinion.
What was that, man? Oh,
I want to say something nice, but they don't give me anything to say anything nice about.
Okay, let's think about this from a nice perspective. Okay, what I will say the main event was nice. And I know your opinions of the match qualities of Mr. CM Punk, our world champion. However, I thought the match that he had with Finn Balor was a good match. Unfortunately, it's exactly what I said it was going to be. It was, let's put Finn Balor in the match in his hometown to job out to the champion with no build-up and no lingering storylines that we could come back to and give Finn the proper push that he deserves. Everybody's like, is this the push? Is this what's going to put Finn? No, it's not. It's Finn putting over the champion. And kudos to him for doing so. But I still believe that Finn Balor is now that Drew McIntyre has gained his proper due and is a world champion, I today am stating right now that Finn Balor is the most underrated talent in the WWE right now.
Wow.
I don't think anyone's more underrated than Finn. I don't think anyone's misused more than Finn.
Even LA
used
Knight?
to be,
yeah.
Even LA Knight. And here's why. Because I can see like I can see a path for LA Knight to a world title from where we're sitting now. Even though he's going to get it, no, he doesn't. He's going to get it, no, he's still like on the precipice. He is right there. Finn Balor's not. He's in the back of the line now. There was nothing about that match that did anything for the advancement of Finn Balor. Finn Balor hit his finishing move, and this is one of my pet peeves. He hit the coup de grace right there in the middle of the ring, hit the champ with it, covered him 1, 2, 2.5 kick out. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So no, Finn Balor now has just been pushed to the back of the line. There is no future. Well, he could weasel his way up and into the. No, I don't think Finn Balor's going to sniff the Royal Rumble finals, or the last part of the Rumble anyway. There's no path for Finn now. There should be, but I don't see a path that the WWE is going to give to Finn Balor, and that is a shame. It's terrible, terrible. Finn Balor's a great
especially considering that who they have in line, like the So brothers and other various jabronis.
Well, we're going to talk about that because we want to do our Royal Rumble predictions because we're headed for the start of the road to WrestleMania. And, if this Raw was any indication, it's biblical. Narrow is the path. Because, it's a rocky road if that's any, I mean, who did not think Natalya was going to turn on Maxine? If you did not think Natalya was going to turn, you have not been watching wrestling for very long.
Wait, I just got a text from Boudreaux. Boudreaux's been in contact with Sting. Sting had no idea it was coming, Boudreaux tells me.
What? Sting didn't know? After all those times he tag teamed with Ric Flair, he didn't know?
Apparently not.
Oh man, Sting got turned on so much he got dizzy. For real. And Natty's the same way. Every 6 months, Natalya will come waltzing into somebody's interview and there'll be a big hug. Oh, Natty, you've been so supportive. Oh, I'm going to walk you to ringside to make sure nothing happens. What happens? Natalya turns on him. That's exactly what happened. And I knew it and so it was like, oh, so that's the finish they're going with before the match even started. And I fast forward. And let me stop right here because I'm going to climb up on a soapbox for just a moment. You and I didn't talk about this, but I wanted to say this. I'm going to climb up on this soapbox because Netflix, I pay you $16.95 or $18.95, whatever it is I pay you. I don't even know how much I pay. But I pay for the service. When I fast forward, I better not have to stop and be forced to watch 2.5 minutes of commercials. I'm paying you to watch this show already. And you're going to make me watch commercials? No. You know what I do, Netflix? When that little yellow box up in my right-hand corner of my TV comes on that says add 2.5 minutes, and I hit the fast forward button, and then at the bottom it says this function not available. I'll tell you what function is available. A mute button. I mute it, and I scroll TikTok for 2.5 minutes because I'm not watching your commercial. And you can tell your advertisers that. I'm sure they'll be dismayed. I'm already paying you for the service. I'm not watching your stupid commercials. Now, having said all that, no one's shocked that Natalya turned on Maxine. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I was wondering how they were going to transition Maxine out of the Intercontinental picture into some kind of feud that we think is going to be good, but it's really not going to be good. And that's how they did it. They brought in old, reliable Natalya, who has turned on every woman in the locker room. Whatever. It's fine. If it gets Maxine out of that picture, good. I liked Maxine. I liked what they did with her, and it ran its course. If anyone thinks Maxine is the next main event star, again, you haven't been watching very long. She's not. Maybe she'll get there. I don't think she will. Maybe she does. Good for her if she does. But if she does, they'll just put her in a tag team like they've done with Rio and Kabuki Warriors and Liv and Roxanne. Our tag team titles are now equivalent to the world title. What else happened on Raw? What am I missing? Oh, that beautiful
Superman tag team.
Oh, I know you loved that match.
You know, I understand and I appreciate people online that say, don't call it a botch because whenever an actor messes something up, you don't say, well, the actor blew his line or the actor botched that scene.
No, they call it a blooper.
Exactly. But what WWE's creative had in the idea to team those three luchador jumping beans, it's, I don't know which team was worse, Jody. That's the sad part. They had less coordination than I do on a dance floor. They went together worse than oil and water, if that's possible.
I think what they're doing with the Vision is dangerous. You've got some momentum. What WWE has done, they have separated Braun Breaker from the other three. Braun Breaker is your unstoppable force. He is your top dog. And then the other three are not Tully, Arn, and Wyndham. They're being jobbed out. They're more like the Stooges, the Briscoes back in the day.
It's like Ric Flair and three Paul Romas.
Yeah, kinda. That's how they're booking them, and I don't know why Theory has to keep taking the falls. You're not doing Theory any favors either, and I don't like the direction of that group right now. They had the momentum. They had it going into the new year. It could have been the dominant faction. You could have put some tag straps on Theory and Paul. You could have put Bronson into a program with. Well, no, you couldn't because he's been injured. But with Dominic for the Intercontinental, and which, by the way, it's about time for him to come back. Either come back or drop the belt. Because we missed the Intercontinental. That show misses the Intercontinental title more than they missed Dominic, and that's saying a lot because he had all the momentum coming in.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, so Raw just if that's the start of the road to WrestleMania, we're in a 25 mile per hour speed zone.
Well,
it was not a good start.
The next pit stop on that road is Royal Rumble, Jody, and I know you have predictions you wanted to make on both the male and female side of that.
I have thoughts, man. I have thoughts. Here's what I'm going to give you what I think WWE will do, and what I think WWE should do. What I think they will do in the men's Royal Rumble, I think your winner is going to be Roman Reigns. And what that's going to lead to will probably be something involving Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes and CM Punk because of the fallout from Stupor Slam back in November. You've got to be saying these funny names, man. You rub it off on me, mad scientist. But I think that would be the direction WWE goes. It's not the direction I would go. I would Braun Breaker needs to win the Royal Rumble and challenge CM Punk. That needs to be your highlight main event WrestleMania moment. Even though we saw it at the beginning of the new year on Netflix, that was not the match. We need the match. Breaker deserves to have the opportunity to have the match on the biggest stage of them all for the title. And what I think, though, will happen, I think WWE will give that nod to Roman. I think Roman will more than likely challenge Drew, and somehow Cody Rhodes weasels his way in for another triple threat disaster like Roman Reigns tends to do. Now, the good news is that could still give us Punk and Breaker, just not because of the Royal Rumble win.
Yeah.
But I think the kid deserves the win. So that's how I would book it. Now, on the ladies' side, what will WWE do? I think WWE will give the win to a returning Bianca Belair And I think Bianca will challenge Jade Cargill for the title, and that's what we'll have at WrestleMania. Not how I'd book it. How I would book it, I would give the win to Liv Morgan, with Liv Morgan eliminating Raquel Rodriguez, who has made it clear that she's going after the women's title. And put Liv Morgan in that driver's seat, creating some dissension in the Judgment Day, particularly between her and Raquel. And then at the Chamber, assuming they're still going to do the Chamber in February, whatever PLE they do in February, Raquel picks up the win over Stephanie Vaquer and becomes your champion to enable a WrestleMania match between Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. And if I'm making an early prediction on that one, I'm giving that win to Liv. I think Liv Morgan needs to have that world title much more than Raquel Rodriguez, much more than any of the other tag teams.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's what I think about the Royal Rumble.
I know you've got breaking news, but I wanted to give you 2 words and then just leave it in the air about the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Ready? Actually, 3 words. Seth freaking Rollins. Breaking news to you, Jody.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, maybe, if he's ready. How about I give you 2 words? Or 3? No, you know what? I'll give you 3 letters. Y2J.
Fair enough.
Breaking news, fans! Breaking news that came out earlier last week. Abundant Television has come to an agreement with Community Championship Wrestling. And Community Championship Wrestling, of course, they put on 3 shows a year. They put on the Veterans Show to honor the veterans on Memorial Day. They put on This Show is for Everyone in August. And, of course, the Holiday Clash, which was the very first show Abundant had on air for Community Championship Wrestling back in early December. Breaking news, deal has been made. Abundant TV, Community Championship Wrestling, all 3 shows will be shown as a special wrestling event right here on Abundant TV. And speaking of right here on Abundant TV, coming up is our favorite part of this show. It's Finding Tomorrow. Stay tuned. Wrestling fans, the gentleman Jody Powell here, and I want you to go to Instagram, and I want you to follow me, gentleman Jody Powell. We're going to get backstage exclusive video of WFC, of Falls Count Anywhere. We're going to talk about the WWE. We're going to hear from WFC superstars. We're going to talk about Finding Tomorrow. We're going to go live. I don't even know what that means, but we're going to do it all on Instagram. Come down, follow me, gentleman Jody Powell. You'll be glad you did. Wrestling fans, you heard it here first on Falls Count Anywhere. A deal has been signed with Community Championship Wrestling and Abundant TV to bring you all 3 Community Championship Wrestling events in 2026. You'll get to see all of your top favorite superstars from the world of Community Championship Wrestling right here on Abundant TV, as all 3 shows in 2026 will be broadcast on Abundant TV. Be there. Hello, wrestling fans. The gentleman Jody Powell here. Are you searching for an engaging speaker for your next church event, civic meeting, industry conference, or a company-wide motivational session? Well, look no further. I'd be honored to bring energy, insight, and inspiration to your event. With experience as a 2022 Toastmasters World Championship of Public Speaking semifinalist, I know how to connect with audiences, both large and small. Whether it's an intimate gathering or a packed auditorium, I'll deliver a memorable and impactful message tailored to your needs. Visit today at www.jodypowellspeaks.com to explore my keynotes, talks, and trainings. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Book me today. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back, viewers, to our favorite part of the episode, Finding Tomorrow. Now, I just want to say, Jody, brother, I love you.
I love you. Oh, what a great, great character, Brother
My
Love.
brother love needs work, but
Mine too.
I think also there are a lot of relationships out there that can use some work.
Yeah.
So this is going to air the last Monday in January. So Jody and I talked about it, and we thought, why not do a 3-part series on love leading into Valentine's Day? So this is part 1. So Jody, you pulled up the love chapter earlier, 1 Corinthians 13, and you were reading some stuff about love.
Yeah, I'm just going to run through the entire chapter. It's only 13 verses.
Okay.
Chapter 13 says this: if I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I'm only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I taught like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these 3 remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love.
What's your initial takeaway from that, Jody?
Whew. I think a lot of times we tend to focus on verses 4 through part of 8, and mostly at weddings, because inevitably that's what the preacher is going to say. Love is patient, love is kind, blah 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 blah. I like all of that for that moment, and then ending at love never fails. But I'm fascinated by verses that follow that, particularly 12 and really verse 12. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. And I think what's being said here is the one thing we need to remember is that love. The love that we have for one another, the love that we have for our spouses, the love that we have for our children, whoever, love comes from one place. You cannot have true love without having that true relationship with Jesus Christ. And this verse is talking about our current state versus what we are going to be or what we're going to see when we are face to face with the Lord. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. We are made in the image of God, so we only see the Lord through the acts and words and things of one another, and through the Bible and through some of the beautiful things that God created throughout the world. We don't see face to face. We see this reflection of what God's love is for mankind through his works, through the things that he created and whatnot. But then we shall see face to face, meaning there's coming a day when we're going to be face to face with love. And that is Jesus Christ. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully. That means, now I trust, I have faith, also have doubts, I have things that enter in, and I kind of know, then there's going to be no question when we're face to face with the Lord. What I love about this, though, Mikey, and I'll shut up, the very last part, even, so I need to read it in full context. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. God doesn't know us in part now. Christ doesn't know us in part now. Even now, I am fully known. And for me, finding tomorrow got a lot easier knowing that God fully knows me right now. Even if I only partially know him, he fully knows me.
Good words there, Jody. I appreciate that. Now, you talked about the middle end part. Let me jump back to the first part, because some of those words and phrases, depending on your denomination, depending on if you're a Christian, they don't make sense or they're not relevant to you depending on how you practice. So let's, without taking away from the Word of God, because I don't want to have my name taken out of the Book of Life, but let's come up with modern equivalents. If I'm the lead worship leader, right, and all I care about is how people respond to me instead of how they respond to the Lord, I'm wasting time.
Yeah.
If I'm on Instagram and I have 4 trillion followers and all I post about is how much somebody else is inferior to me, I don't have any love there, except for me. If I walk by the homeless and I question, well, are they going to use it for drugs or are they going to use it for what they say on their sign? Mm-hmm. Sad news. That's not either. Right? Yeah. If I disagree with somebody for political or what's the word I'm looking for?
Cultural.
There you go. Thank you. You're reading my mind. Differences, right? Doesn't mean that I think they're right. Doesn't mean I have to support them. However, I do have to love them. Yeah. You have to love them.
Yeah.
They don't have to love you. Please, please, please don't wait on everybody to love you, because it ain't going to happen.
Right.
Like Jody says, the way that we can find tomorrow is because Jesus didn't wait on us to love him either.
That's right.
In Romans 5, Paul says, while we were yet sinners. Newsflash, everybody that ain't named Jesus Christ at one point or another, we're all sinners. Yep. While we were yet sinners, he died for us. Before we knew to love him, he loved us and sacrificed the ultimate gift for us. And he offers that even now, 2,000 years later. And Jesus is coming back soon. I say it over and over. I'm not one of these book people that thinks they have a date. Bless their hearts. I hope that at least they have their lives right with God, but it's happening sooner. Mm-hmm. Every day we're closer than the day before.
Yep. So
make sure that you're right with the Lord. Write to us, email us if you need to. Find a Christian brother or sister. Don't expect them to be Jesus in the flesh. They're trying to be, I hope. But none of us are there yet, folks.
Right. Yeah. That's why we got to give each other grace. And, I love your heart, Mike, because your heart for the return of Christ. Here's one thing I'm just going to interject, and I know we're running out of time, but I'm going to say it anyway because it doesn't matter how it's going to happen. Everybody, don't get hung up on, well, is there going to be a rapture, or is it pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib, or we're going through the tribulation? Listen, Jesus is coming back. That's all you need to know. How it happens is how it will happen. If we get caught up in arguing over what's going to happen, you're going to miss the incredible glory of waiting for it to happen and seeing it when it does. Don't worry so much about the minutiae and the details.
Speaking of details, here's a detail for our viewers. Coming up next, Flash with Jeff Dixon and Chris Whaley, right here on Abundant TV.
Stay tuned!